Hi, T. Carlson here. Today we're taking a look back in time at one of the greatest vocal duos of all time, the Everly Brothers. A few years back, Eagle Rock released a documentary on the duo entitled Harmonies from Heaven. And I have the Blu-ray here. We're going to unbox this and I will share my opinions. Nice shot there of Phil and Don. Simple and to the point. That looks very nice. There's the spine text. Back cover has a list of the content featured here. Inside the package, we actually have two discs. We have a Blu-ray disc of the Harmonies from Heaven documentary, which also has some minor bonus features. But then we also have a DVD disc included, which features a performance at Checkers nightclub in Sydney, Australia in 1968. Underneath, we have credits and also another nice shot of Phil and Don. Phil and Don Everly were introduced to music at a very young age, and from that young age, it was pretty clear that they were destined for musical greatness. With their vocal harmonies and unique songs, many of which were written by the professional songwriting duo of Boudleaux and Felice Bryant. They always put out great music, and they gave great live performances as well, winning over the respect of many musicians and being an influence on several others, including many of those that came out of the British invasion that swept America in the 1960s. The interviewees that are featured here are actually pretty wide and diverse. Even Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones is interviewed here, which just goes to show how wide, diverse, and all around important the Everly Brothers' musical harmonies and the like were. We get to learn about the group's early recordings on their initial record label, as well as the deal they got with Warner Brothers, which unfortunately caused many conflicts of interest and sort of derailed their career as well. We also learn about subsequent reunions of the group, as well as everything that they would go through over the years. Phil and Don, of course, both phenomenal singers, but complete polar opposites in terms of personalities, which often drove a wedge between the two of them, even to the point that they didn't speak to each other for a decade at one point. I love the music of Everly Brothers, and it's great that we actually got a documentary covering the group and everything that they went through. This is a fantastic documentary that only clocks in at about an hour, but it's very thorough, covering a lot of things in the band's career. Their early younger years, when they first connected with Felice and Boudleaux Bryant, eventually getting their deal with Warner Brothers, and then everything that came about afterwards. I mean, at one point, the group was even in the military, which of course put their career on a hiatus. And when they came back, nothing was ever quite the same after that. Ironically, the group was largely eclipsed and overshadowed by the arrival of the British invasion, who ironically were bands that were very influenced by the Everly Brothers' harmonies. This is a great documentary. Probably my only real complaint is the stuff that happens like from the mid-60s onwards does feel pretty rushed. It would have been nice if this could have been maybe two separate movies, maybe a part on everything up until they were in the military, and then maybe something covering everything after they got back. That said, though, it's still very informative, and I do think any fan will like what they find here. The newly filmed interviews looked very nice. As with anything that's sourced from older footage, some of that footage is not going to be in the best of shape. Some will look better than others. But for the most part, this actually is a pretty satisfying looking release. Everly Brothers fans should like what they get here. The Blu-ray disc included has some additional documentary footage that didn't make it into the movie, as well as some musical performances by Jake Budd. The second disc, again, is a standard def DVD disc, which features the performance of the group in 1968 at Checkers nightclub in Australia. And this is a fantastic performance, but one of the things I like best about it is the group clearly has a sense of humor, with the musicians on stage playing off of each other. They even make some references to the then under construction Sydney Opera House. So it's a really interesting piece of history there. Black and white and not with the best of picture quality, but something that I was very happy to see included in this set. If you're a fan of the Everly Brothers, this is an absolute must-own. How about you? Are you a fan of the Everly Brothers? What did you think of Harmonies from Heaven? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos. And make sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.